And then except Balls to the Wall, that cover always freaked me.
Oh yeah, I can see why that would freak you out.
I'm like,
it's like a hairy leg and a hand holding a ball.
2 balls.
2 balls. You're live.
Hey guys, Deanie and Mark here from Back to the Media, and we are here with another episode of Rants and Rotations. Remember that last one, guys? Remember? You all loved it. I loved it too. I had fun. So we figured, hey, why not? We'll do it again from our media room. Same background. Looking good.
Looking fly.
Looking fly.
And we're going to show you some stuff that we either recently picked up or that we've been listening to lately, or just something that we might just want to show you.
That we just feel like saying, hey,
yo,
this is really good.
I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is in the collection.
Show
you go first. Ladies first today.
It's show and tell.
And then we're actually going to rant about, I think we're going to rant about Walmart vinyl. Ooh. What's y'all's thoughts on the Walmart vinyl? Oh. We got something to say about it. We own a record shop, so stick around.
Stick around. Okay, I'm first, right?
You're first.
Okay, this is a recent pickup, but it's also an album that I have been listening to a lot. And I'm super excited about this because this is sort of a grail for me. If you can say that, because this finalizes my Rat album lineup, and it is Rat Detonator.
Shout out to John B.
Yes, for getting this into my hands. This is it's a Korean pressing? No, it's a French pressing.
That one's a French pressing, but your other one's a Korean pressing.
I have a Korean pressing.
It's easy to get them confused because they both look...
They come from everywhere.
Yeah, they both look...
but anyways...
Not of this country.
Anyways, I love this album. This album gets a lot of hate because people try saying that it's when Rat kind of lost their edge to their, I guess, glam metal. They became more glam metal with this because it has, it's Giving Yourself Away, which was like their first ballad, I
think that's one of their best songs.
It's amazing. This album is so good because not only, okay, let me see. Oh, which one is it? Yes. Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. Guess who does background vocals on that? John Bon Jovi. So, this is pretty cool. An awesome... Shane, Lovin' You's a Dirty Job. One Step Away. This whole album. I love it. I love this album. And what's crazy is, and maybe one of you can help me out here in the comments, I couldn't try to figure out why there are different cover variations for this. I know depending on the country that it was released in, that there's no hand. I like the hand with the red nails. I think it's a sexy album cover.
Looks sexy.
But
what year is that? 92? 91?
1990.
1990. Sounds like the weird transition period where
the 90s was happening.
The 90s and the grunge movement, or whatever you want to call it.
And kind of like, I guess you could say hair metal, or the glam rock was kind of phasing out. But that was honestly one of my favorite eras of music. So... that's mine. I love this album, Rat. I love Rat.
Cool album, and you never see that one around ever.
No.
Like we've, almost 8 years, or our 7th year now in business, and we've never had that album before.
We went to a friend that was like, "Hey, I got one," and I'm like, "Hey,
right,
I want it." So,
my show is going to be Green Day Nimrod. This is a 2009 pressing, and this came in a collection I bought recently. And it's just a great album. I had this on CD when it first came out, 1997, I want to say, 97. So I was just like really young. But I had this on CD, and I always liked this album. I mean, Dookie's probably one of my favorites, if not, Kerplunk or, 1039 Smooth, but...
see, it's got Good Riddance. I love that song.
Well, yeah, that's the main track. That's the track that, like...
I know, everybody knows it.
At the time, I was just like, ugh. But
that was your class graduation song, too.
It was, yeah, but I liked Redundant. Nice Guys Finished Last, obviously. Hitchin' a Ride was different, but it was good.
Yeah.
A lot of good songs on here, though, and I wore the CD out. Like, I listened to it all the time.
And guys, last time we did one of our earlier videos, somebody picked on us because we said CDs. But guys, listen, when we were growing up, CDs...
You can't change when you were born.
Right.
We were born in the 80s.
We would love to say...
So we grew up in the 90s.
We would love to say, hey, we wore this cassette tape out, but honestly...
I wore this record out back in 97. But nah, like literally I didn't know what a record was in 97.
Like,
I was 11 years old.
Our parents weren't buying us records, they were buying us CDs.
Compact disc player.
You had the 10 disc changer and you put your CDs in there and you hit shuffle and be like, ooh,
I just love that album though. Like,
it's a great album.
And I remember finding it this one time when I was like on a little trip with my parents, and we stopped at like this used like music store. They had movies and stuff, and I found it on CD at the time, and I just thought that was really cool, and just listened to it the whole trip on my portable CD player, my Walkman. The Walkman. What you got?
Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Trying to make it so the light doesn't glare on there. This is another grail for me. Just like with Rat, I grew up on Firehouse. Love Firehouse. This album cover in general used to like...
I find it amusing because it's a house that's on fire.
Well, but listen. It's crazy.
Like, isn't that Great White album that has like a shark fin?
Yeah.
And it's like
Great White Shark. Oh, get it?
it was a trend, you know.
No, but listen, my mom had this cassette tape when I was little. And I said this on my Instagram when I showed this. I always wondered, like, what the story... I love album covers because of the stories behind it. I was always like, why did this woman set her house on fire? What?
She does have, like, a devious look. I just noticed she's holding a match, too.
Yes, and it's got smoke coming off of it.
I just noticed that, too.
Yes.
It kind of follows her shoulder, but it...
And I always thought, I'm always like, what did this beautiful woman... Why did she burn her house down? And
she's a pyro.
Of course, being little, now that I'm growing, I'm like, what did he do? What did he do?
What did he do?
What did the man do? Because,
risque.
Anyways, this whole album, from start to finish, every single song is so good. I mean, it's got All She Wrote on there, Shake and Tumble, Don't Treat Me Bad, Lover's Lane, Home is Where the Heart Is, which is one of my absolute favorite Firehouse songs. Don't Walk Away, Season of Change, Overnight Sensation, of course, Love of a Lifetime, which is what their like most popular hit, but I love Firehouse, and I'm super excited to have this. This is a Korean press because they didn't press this in the US. So, yeah, I love this album. I'm glad to have it.
Very cool.
Glad to have it.
My next up is a holy grail for me. And again, yeah, like...
Holy
Grail. And again, like, if you don't, I don't know, I almost feel like you had to, like, have been there, like, to really appreciate the album. Like, the guys that listen to, like, the hair metal or the, stuff from the 80s and the 90s, you might not get Third Eye Blind. But I'm telling you, this album, at least, being a teen when this came out, was just phenomenal. Like, I just absolutely love this album.
That era of music, because it was like Fuel and Third Eye Blind,
kind
of like alternative.
It really spoke to me at the time.
Yeah.
It's a little different now, being older and stuff. But I just feel like you kind of had to been there to really appreciate this album. But maybe you didn't. Let us know in the comments. Are you like a late bloomer to this album? If you never listened to this album, listen to it.
It's so good. It's so
every
good.
song, I just love every single song on here. I mean, it's just so many different,
Just the lyrical writing behind it.
Yeah,
it's
like
so good.
Losing a Whole Year, Motorcycle Drive-By is another great song. Narcolepsy, Semi-Charmed Kind of Life is the single that they wrote in on. Jump, or what is it, Jumper, yeah. All the hits. You guys have heard those songs 1,000 times. But when I find myself listening to this album, I'm listening to really not the hits much. I'm listening to all the other tracks that are on it. But this is an original 1997 pressing. Shout out to my buddy Sim. He hooked me up with this. Very, very happy to get this. I was after it for a really long time. It's really expensive. Really hard to get. But just a fantastic album. Worth every penny.
Losing a Whole Year gives me chills every single time I listen to it because it's so good. It's one of those ones I will put on like repeat.
Narcolepsy, another great one.
That's a really good one.
So many good ones on here though. Like, I just wear it out. I wear this album out all the time. So, still listen to it.
Now you have the OG.
OG press. I'm happy about it.
Yeah. All right, next up for me, surprise, we have another Rat album. This is one I've had for a while now. Actually, this copy here is an upgrade because it's still in the cellophane, shrink. We got criticized.
Guys, I collect like retro games and stuff too. Like straight up, here, check this out. Yeah.
It's a mess. We're reorganizing.
Retro NES
So
games, all that stuff.
cellophane is the term that we use.
Cellophane is a term that's used a lot in the video game community. We sell video games. So when I see the plastic still on an album, I say cellophane, but shrink. It's still in the shrink with the hype sticker. Yes. This one ain't, don't have a hype sticker, but you know.
Well, we're used to saying it's in shrink with the hype sticker.
Right.
Anyways, this one's an upgrade for me. This is my favorite, next to Detonator. This one is probably my top favorite Rat album. I love it. And Tawny Katane, she was like the hair.
I had no idea that was her.
I had no idea it was her either until recently. She's like the hair band. She was like the hair band queen. I mean, I love White Snake.
It's like Talladega Nights, remember? When he's like talking to her. She's like, Tawny Katane.
Tawny Katane. Yeah, this song, I just love this album. Back for More. Warren D. Martini on that 12-string guitar. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, I was excited to have this. Add it, upgrade it.
You got it.
Yep.
I just got this recently. This is by Marley and the Wailers. I'm sorry about that lighting right there. Babylon by Bus. This is an awesome album. It does have the poster with it too, which I didn't notice that until I got ready to shoot this video. So I was like, sweet. And I haven't even looked at it yet either, but there it is. Sweet, check that out. That's pretty sweet. Bob Marley, you know, enough said for the most part, but it's just, you know, lots of bangers on here. Punky Reggae Party was a great one. Exodus, Steer It Up, another great one. Lively Up Yourself. A lot of great tracks on here, and I've had this before, and this little window here is always ripped out the center. The center's always ripped out. I've had probably 3 or 4 copies of this.
Yeah. And
it's always ripped right on the center of the window. So I was really happy to get this copy. You can switch it around to change like the views. Did you know that? Look at that. You can pull this out.
Yeah, I did know that.
And you can just put the different inserts in to the windows there, which is pretty sweet. I thought that was cool. This album's pretty hard to get with
that's like
that's not torn up.
That's like that. What's that album?
There's a lot of gimmick albums.
Got those 3D glasses that I'm trying to find.
Grand Funk Railroad.
Grand Funk Railroad. Yeah. That's what it is. Where the 3D glasses that are on the cover, they're always gone. They're always missing. They're always ripped out. You know. I did find a copy that had them like shoved in there. But I would like to find an album that actually still has them intact.
Same thing with like Zeppelin 3, like the little spinny wheel.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm a sucker for the gimmick covers. I totally am. But actually, this is kind of like Elvis's Aloha in Hawaii. Because remember, you can pull that out with like the little... had the window on there. Yep. But anyway, I've had a lot of copies of this, but this is the only one, I think, that had this intact. So I had to hang on to that. So I thought that was great. Babylon by Bus. Pretty sweet.
Okay, my next one, and this is one that I've heard of this band, but they're new to the both of us, but it's one of the ones that's kind of like you need to have in your collection, so we will be checking it out.
Somebody gave this to us, by the way.
Yeah, somebody gave this to us.
Like this girl came in and was like, "I'm getting rid of my records. You guys, I don't want you to have it."
It's My Bloody Valentine, and it's an original 2003 pressing. This is...
I still gave her money for it, though.
Yeah.
I didn't feel right just taking it, because I looked it up while she was standing there. I was like, you sure you want to give this away?
We're not like
She's like, I don't listen. She's like, I don't even want it. She's like, yeah, I can have it. I love your old store. Just take it. And I was like, nah, here's some cash.
I've heard this is like shoegaze, I think. Is that the
something like that?
Which,
you know,
I like shoegaze. I mean, I've listened to like Souvlaki and... Sorry, guys.
It's an oddball thing. You're new to that. You know?
I am new to that.
You're new to this,
and I'm so conditioned to have to know. So sorry, guys. We will be checking this out though.
Yeah.
Because I definitely.
My next one, I don't know nothing about it either, but I'm going to show it to you, and I haven't listened to it yet. I was just at the record shop and seen it the other day. I wasn't at my record shop. I was at someone else's record shop, and I got really excited because it's a Blue Note. And anytime I ever see a Blue Note out in the wild, I usually got to get it if it's priced where I can afford it. It calls to me. But I will do a video on all my Blue Notes. I got a good bit of them.
That would be an awesome one.
Yeah.
Let us know if you want to see his Blue Note collection.
Or I'll just show like some of my good jazz stuff. I'm relatively new to jazz, a couple years in. Still learning a lot. I mean, it's a whole other ball game. I'm telling you right now. Like, I come from the first... When you get into collecting records, you start buying the stuff that you're familiar with at first, you know, and again,
your
like
favorites that you like to listen to.
Yeah, 10 to 15 years ago when I started getting into vinyl to begin with, I was buying, you know, Misfits. You know, I wanted the Metallica, I wanted the Master of Puppets original, I wanted the Kill 'Em All original. These were the albums that I was listening to when I was a teenager, and I wanted those. You know, I wanted the metal stuff and all that. But as I've grown older, you know, I got all that stuff now, so I'm trying to expand my horizons, I guess you could say.
Broaden the spectrum of listening.
Yeah, and it really is awesome. I mean, I find myself listening to a lot of jazz now more than almost anything else sometimes.
Jazz is a mood.
I put it on and I'm just like
late at night, once we've put our kids to bed.
Yeah, maybe I'm getting old.
We come up here and literally in our music room, we're such nerds, we have 2 recliners in here, and we just will literally come up. We'll
literally come up and recline.
We'll come up and recline in the recliners. We'll pop on a great jazz album,
or even sometimes old country. Something soothing. I can't handle Megadeth all the time at 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it. Yes. Rock on. Yes. But, you know, you got to switch it up every now and then.
Put a fireplace, the eternal Yule log on the TV, and we'll just sit.
Yeah, the YouTube
and
fireplace.
We'll relax. Yeah, I'll have my blankie and like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee.
And jazz music is a great way to do that with.
It's a great way to unwind.
So this is Black Orchid, and this is the album The Three Sounds.
The Three Sounds.
Yeah, Blue Note number 4155. It was like $30. I mean, you know, I was happy to pay it.
It's like you're like
usually like when I find a Blue Note, it's like $200. So I was like, you know, sweet. So I grabbed it. I haven't spun this yet, but I just got it this week, literally 2 days ago. So I'm happy to spend that.
You're like that movie Dances with Wolves where he's like, why don't he write? Well, why don't you read right?
Why don't you read right? So what do you got?
I'm sitting lower. My legs were falling asleep because I was sitting on them, so I had to change.
And you lost like 6 inches.
People are gonna come through and be like,
you'd be like, man, they shrunk halfway through the video.
She's getting older and she's shrinking.
There you go.
Okay, Taylor Swift folklore, and I may get hate for this, I may not.
How can you get hate?
Because
everybody likes different types of music.
Well, I understand that, but people had a problem when I showed The Weeknd, so. But anyways,
that was only one person.
Yeah, we're showing what we like, and this folklore album is so good. And I will be honest, I was never a fan of Taylor Swift. I mean, I liked her stuff, she was okay, but when this album dropped, she went with more of like folklore, but she went with more of like an indie folk feel, and this album, it was only available through her website, which, I mean, she's an incredibly intelligent,
blue vinyl,
and insanely smart.
She writes a lot of her own music too, don't she?
She writes all of her own music.
Yeah, that's sweet.
She does have help, but
that's pretty awesome.
But for the most part, she writes all of her music.
Well, there's a lot of artists that don't write any of their own music.
No,
you know.
I will say this: do you know how she marketed this? Okay, listen. Each song, she did a album artwork based on each song, and each one came out with a different colored wax.
That's crazy.
I mean,
is there like 10 different pressings of this?
I don't know if there's 10 different pressings, but I think there was like 6. Wow. I may be wrong.
All I know, covers.
A bunch of different covers. I think this one's called In the Weeds.
Love that color wax.
But it's so beautiful. Nice. I had a really tough time. There was one, I want to show you this, guys. There was one that was pressed on like this really pretty rosy mauve, and then there was one pressed on kind of like a deep sand color, but I mean, oh man. I mean, it doesn't do it justice.
Looks nice.
I saw, and then there was kind of, I think there was a hunter green, like more greenish pressing.
I think it's cool.
I love this album, and I became a fan of Taylor Swift, so I don't know if I'd call myself a Swiftie, but hey, hate on me all you want. I like her.
A Swiftie. My last one I'm going to show right now is Kiss self-titled.
Oh, I have 2 more. I have more than you.
You have more than me.
I have more than you.
Again, you know, just iconic album, Kiss debut album. I got this. I guess it wasn't really a recent find. I guess it was probably like six months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
It's your mom's copy.
It's my mom.
This was shout out to Wendy.
She gave it to us.
She gave this to us, and it's a first press, guys. It
It
does not have Kissing Time on here. If you guys are familiar with that, like if you look on the track lists here, see if we can get that up there with
You know, I was watching. Shout out to
There we go.
Shout out to Melinda Murphy. The second reissue that does have Kissing Time, that's got the hype sticker in the corner. She said on one of her recent videos that is like going up in price. That album is.
A lot of these early Kiss albums definitely are, but you notice how the Kissing Time's not on there.
Yeah.
And the later pressings of this, they actually they like, it's almost like they crammed it in like right above the track listing, and it was just like Kissing Time.
Shove it in.
Yeah, but they actually used the they changed the vinyl obviously because it had the extra track on it. But I heard that they reused the same jackets, so they had the same jackets with the first and second pressings. But pretty sweet. And this one's in beautiful shape. Getting really hard to get. I mean, hard to get. You know, I'll see this album 10 times, and all of them have Kissing Time on them. So pretty sweet to get, especially in clean shape. This album's beat to death all of the time.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's just so much black ink all over it.
Yeah, so it's easy to get like ring wear and for the cover to get worn, especially being pushed in between other records and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somehow your mom took really good care of this.
Yeah.
So
it's a great,
pretty awesome.
And you know what, guys, this is the crazy...
And I didn't mean that as like a dig to your mom.
No.
But she had a lot of records that had a lot of wear to them.
Well, yeah, because she
like
still has... Guys, my mom still has most of her records. I mean, she gave me...
And they all got her name written on them.
Yeah.
Like,
she
took them to parties back then, she said.
But honestly, the craziest thing, I remember not that long ago, up until I would say about a year ago, I wasn't a really big fan of Kiss. I don't ever... There are a lot of bands that I grew up remembering listening to. Like all like the hair metal bands and like the James Gang and Joe Walsh. I don't ever remember my mom playing Kiss. So it was surprising.
It's in good shape. That might be why.
Well, she
might not have taken
Kiss,
it to a lot of parties.
But also at the same time, she probably had her favorite albums.
And she might have like been thinking it might be a little scary for you too or something.
Well, you know, I will say this: the AC/DC, If You Want Blood.
Yeah, with the guitar.
That cover.
Yeah.
Would terrify me, and then except Balls to the Wall, that cover always freaked me.
Oh yeah, I can see why that would freak you out.
I'm like,
it's like a hairy leg and a hand holding a ball.
Two balls.
Two balls. Why wouldn't that freak you out? It being not 8 years old?
No, not 8. I was like younger than that, and I just go in and look at the covers, and that's why I became so fascinated with like album art. So yeah, whoa! I was like, whoa. Okay, for mine. Okay, this one is not a recent pickup, but one that I've been listening to a lot lately.
Where did we get that from? I can't even remember.
It was ours. Okay.
Oh, I think it was in the bin at the store.
No.
Wasn't it?
We put this up as a buy it now.
Oh, yeah.
During one of our auctions, and nobody claimed it. And I'm like, you guys.
Except for this one right here.
Okay, I said, if nobody's going to claim this, I'm going to take it home. And I did, because when this movie came out, this was one of my favorite movies. I mean, it came out, what year was it? Yeah.
The 90s.
1999. So on the cusp of the year 2000, the millennium. And the soundtrack is just so true to that era. I mean, we've got Placebo on here, which I love Placebo. Fatboy Slim, Blur, Day One, Counting Crows, Kristen Berry, Marcy Playground, and Secretly by Skunk Anansi. I think I'm saying that right. I may be mispronouncing it. Such a beautiful, haunting song.
Put the verb on there too.
Yeah. Amy Mann.
Nice.
I love her from Till Tuesday.
There you go.
Amy Mann from Till Tuesday. And then, of course, one of my all-time favorite songs, Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve. Such an iconic, the end of the movie as she's driving away in Sebastian's car and that song starts playing. Gosh, this was my part of my childhood was seeing this movie. And so I'm like, y'all can't appreciate this soundtrack. I'm going to take it home. I'm going to appreciate it. Now, my last one.
Is it time for the rant? Might as well talk about the rant, because that's part of the rant.
Oh, this is part of the rant. Okay.
Yeah. She's already showed it now.
Well, I have my own little rant to go along with this before we kind of glide into the whole Walmart rant. Listen.
It's going to be a Walmart and a Creed rant.
No.
You guys ready for this?
Creed, listen. Y'all need to listen to me. There is nothing wrong with liking bands like Creed. Okay? They're not considered a guilty pleasure. So many people...
When My Own Prison dropped in 97, I was 11 years old.
Listen.
That was dark, it was dirty, and it was good.
It was
good. Being, that young, hearing that, I was just like, damn, this is like Pearl Jam. They're like Yeah, and then Arms Wide Open came out, and
Listen, will you let me talk? They're like my
ruined
favorite
everything.
band ever.
I know. I'm sorry. I got to give my opinion on it too,
Listen,
because it's like a guy's opinion.
Okay.
You know,
Okay,
I'm
but
defending them. I'm
I know.
defending them.
Well, listen, let me.
But when
let me
Arms
talk
Wide
about
Open
them
came
first.
out, it was just like.
Oh my God. No, listen.
And then it was hard to, you know, but
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Continue.
guys. Okay, this album here, I love Creed because I have a sentimental attachment to them. I remember being in middle school in band class, and our band teacher, Mr. Shelley, he was awesome. He would let us watch like MTV. He would let us watch whatever we wanted to whenever we were finished
That
our
is a
lessons.
cool band teacher.
So you had Mr. Shelley.
I did. Yeah, briefly.
Yeah,
And
briefly.
he was switched. after the
Yeah.
last minute.
Anyways, and TRL or music MTV was on, and I remember seeing the music video for Higher. Very first time I had heard the song, saw the music video, and I'm like, oh my God.
I got Human Clay. Got it at the wall.
Listen.
Yeah.
I came home and I went
I got
on.
a story about that,
I went
too.
on and on about Creed, and before I know it, we went to. I think it was the Wall. That's where
Wall.
I got my copy of Human Clay, and then after I listened to Human Clay, I wanted to listen to their first album.
Yeah.
So I went in, and I think my mom got me My Own Prison for Easter. It was in my Easter basket.
Good album.
And then I got Weathered. Weathered is so.
I didn't have
Weathered
that
is
one.
such. It is.
I was on the Creed.
Oh,
I was on the
man.
Creed hate train by then.
No.
But I had Human Clay
Listen.
and My Own Prison. They were great. I thought.
This Creed, when this came out, we were literally at Chili's with our family having lunch, and Mark's like, they just released a Creed Greatest Hits it's a Walmart exclusive.
Which is our next topic.
We went right there, but listen, let me go to my little rant first, okay? I don't understand why people feel the need to talk smack on the type of music that people like. You won't believe people.
It's always going to be that way, though.
But people are like, oh, Creed are my guilty pleasure. In my opinion, there's
It's like
no
it's
such.
like with anything. Cars.
Right.
You get your Ford fans. You get
But
your
listen,
Dodge and Chevy
but listen,
people.
in my opinion, music shouldn't be a guilty pleasure. You should listen to whatever makes your heart happy. And let me tell you, I listen to Creed all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Torn, My Own Prison, What's This Life For, One, Are You Ready, Higher, With Arms Wide Open, What If, One Last Breath, Don't Stop Dancing, Bullets, My Sacrifice, and Weathered. Like, there's so many. We're going to listen to
great
Weathered.
tracks.
We're going to listen to Weathered, and it's such a good album.
It's
But
going to make me a believer.
I'm not
I've
kidding.
heard it. I've heard a lot of the
And
tracks.
I love Mark Tremonti. I love Alter Bridge. I mean, I like Tremonti the band. But if Creed gets back together, it will make me so happy because I never got to see them on tour.
We'll be there.
I talked about Creed during
Mask and all.
Yeah, I talked about Creed during our vinyl auction, and people were like, and I'm like, listen,
Well,
y'all,
as I said,
I'm gonna
I
wear my
mean,
Creed
you know,
shirt.
when Arms Wide Open came out, and then it just changed the whole thing. They really blew
why
up.
do
It was like the Nickelback effect.
But
like when
I don't
Nickelback,
like that comparison, though.
when
because-
Nickelback first came out, you guys remember that? Like, I ain't talking about like, I don't know, Rockstar, whatever.
Yeah,
this is.
you're
I'm talking
talking
about Leader of Men. I remember that track
That's
all
a
the
good
time.
song.
Like
That, but if
I
they
kind of forget how it
become
even
more
goes, but I remember the video. There's like water going down a street or something,
Yeah.
or I don't know, but like they were a legitimate rock band, and then like they got the fame,
Yeah.
and then everybody hated them.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
I just think that is so cool. I mean, guys,
That's cool.
I
Cool.
will always and forever be a fangirl for Creed. Always.
Rant time.
Rant time.
Walmart selling vinyl. I get this question a lot from customers,
no.
from haters, and all this, blah blah blah. Walmart
Not
selling
really
vinyl.
Yeah.
Well, haters of Walmart selling vinyl.
Right.
But our opinion, at least we talked about it earlier, we both have the same opinion on it.
We feel the same way.
Walmart selling vinyl is a great thing
It is.
when you own a record store like what we do. Let me tell you why. Everyone's like, well, support your local record store. Yes, support your local
Absolutely.
record store any chance you get.
Absolutely.
When your local record store can't get all these Metallicas and all the different colored vinyls,
Or we couldn't
the
get this.
exclusive.
We couldn't get this.
you got to go out and buy some
You
Walmart
gotta go
vinyl.
out and buy
who
it.
cares, man? It's just wax.
It's just records.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's just records.
And it opens the door for new collectors.
Right. That's why
It
we
opens the
approve
door.
of it. Because
Right. We appreciate them.
every week I get somebody that's like 16, 17,
Yeah.
18, the same age we were when we were going to our music store buying CDs,
Right.
coming into our shop being like, I just got my first turntable. And, I'm like, It's probably a Crosley, but that's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with a Crosley.
Who cares?
It's getting them in, and then they get started. They
people usually always upgrade.
Yeah, and then they'll buy some records at Walmart.
It's a gateway.
And then they're like, I heard that you guys sell records. Yes, we do. What kind of music do you like? And they're like, well, I like everything. I like, my mom had an Olivia Newton-John record before. I'd like to get that again. I got that. Here it is, $5. And they're just like, $5. That's
we have the pre-owned stuff, like the old.
Because they've been conditioned from Walmart to pay $29 for a record, which or 30 or 32, 33.
And the bright colored wax.
Yeah, so when they come into our store, they're finding, Steve Miller Band for $10. They're finding a original Zeppelin for like 30, and they're like, this is awesome, and
we didn't get a chance to get many of the recent Walmart exclusives, like the Metallicas and everything.
I saw the Black Album there, but
we didn't grab it because
got one, so I was like,
we have a repress from a while ago.
My feet fell asleep.
Oh, see, now you know why I'm sitting on the cushion.
We're gonna get some chairs next time for this. Next time we're gonna get some chairs up in here.
But guys, like
my feet, you look like a dwarf down there. Look,
I'm a little sorry, guys. We grabbed this from Walmart, and
look at that wax. Looks awesome.
You guys see this wax.
Somebody was already hating on this wax, by the way. They said it's like a picture disc.
Oh,
they're like, it's not truly tie-dyed wax.
That's another rant that I could go on about picture discs.
Who cares?
Who is it?
Maybe that'll be the next Rants and Rotations.
How does it sound?
Well, I don't know. It sounds good.
Depends on what you're playing it on. If you're playing it on a Crosley, it might not sound that great.
I mean, seriously, guys, how cool is that?
Look at that.
Tie-dye. Oh, sorry.
Boom, look at that.
Tie-dye wax.
Yeah, what's wrong with Walmart vinyl? I mean, that's cool.
What's wrong?
That's cool.
Look at that. It's got.
So,
I mean,
our point basically is saying that
you can still support your mom and pop, but hey, if Walmart or Target has a really awesome exclusive, like my weekend exclusive gold and blood splatter wax, do what makes your heart happy. It's just music.
And if you're buying a record from Walmart, I mean, and you still want to support your local shop, go down and buy a couple used records from them. Like, I'll tell you right now.
You spend $20 on one at Walmart, and you have, the extra funds, only if it's in your budget, go and, or vice versa.
Right. And again, like, being a record store owner, I'll tell you right now, we don't make a whole lot on the new release stuff. We're lucky to make just $5 to $10 on a new release when we sell it. So it's not killing your local record store.
We would have
if you
to
pick
sell
up a new album at Walmart every now and then.
We would have to sell this for like $5 to $7 over cost.
We don't have to, but we choose to because we try to have good competitive pricing.
We choose to go by the MSRP.
Yeah,
so
but again, like your used record stores, they make their profits on the used vinyl.
So the stuff that gets brought to them.
So if you buy a Walmart exclusive. Stop by your local record shop, pick up a few used records from them, spend whatever's in your budget.
Yeah.
It all helps and it's all supportive. My main point of the whole Walmart thing is that it introduces new people to records and they then visit their local record affiliate and typically start buying records. Sometimes it's a fad, sometimes it fades out and they don't stick with it.
Right.
But then they bring the records to us and we buy them.
Right.
So that's great. So it's a win-win there. Yeah. They're like, hey, I got into records and now I'm just over it. Great. Like that one girl gave me the my Bloody Valentine. She was trying to give it to us. Yeah. She got into records. She's out of it.
Her tastes change.
Her tastes change, whatever.
But honestly, I mean.
And then they upgrade over time.
Right.
They usually get an Audio-Technica.
Being in Walmart, I mean, anytime we go into Walmart or even Target, you walk by the electronics department and you see the records and, kids like music. And I think it is amazing to actually, have this physical album instead of just strictly sticking to streaming something. Like, it is an actual, physical copy. And if that opens the doors for them to walk in our shop and say, hey, I'm really getting into records now. What do you guys have? And then they see all that we have in our bins, they know that we exist from that point on. So even if they don't, get their whole collection from us every time, they know that we're there and they'll be like, hey, I got this really awesome Blue Oyster Cult, from Back to the Media, but hey, I went to Walmart and got one of the, and the exclusives are cool. I know people hate on the exclusives, and I know there have been issues saying that the quality is lower. I don't know.
That could be with anything.
That could be with anything.
I've had record store day exclusives that the quality wasn't that great.
Right, and we have got records in from our distributors.
My feet are asleep.
National distributors, and there will be like a closed groove or something. So you can literally run into that anywhere you go.
Right.
But my whole point is, you know, if it helps us out, and we appreciate that because it shows that it's popular. If something is at Walmart or Target, it's trendy because they're like, you know, massive.
Collecting records, you know, it's like a disease. And then like it starts, you know, they're introduced. They're introduced. They're introduced at Walmart first, and then because everybody goes to Walmart, who don't, you know, there's billions of people. They'll have more people go into their bathroom in a day than we'll have going to our store.
It's the only place you can go where you can get a loaf of bread, a box of cereal, a record, a DVD, and underwear.
It's pretty much advertising records.
Yeah.
So once they finally take a bite of the forbidden fruit or whatever you want to call it, they get hooked on it. Some people let go of it and then they get over it quickly. Right. Some people get in and like they become a vinyl record collector, and we see them every single week. So, thanks guys for hanging out with us and seeing our vinyl of the week here and listening to our little bit of a rant there.
Yeah.
So
not quite as bad as the first time.
No, it's all good. Rants are always good.
Rants are always good. So, it gets conversation talking.
Please like and subscribe. We really appreciate all the support with the YouTube channel. It's really been growing quickly lately, so we're really thankful for
every
that.
One of you.
And hope you guys, thankful for everybody. Hope you guys like the content.
Yep.
So, like and subscribe. See you later.
Bye, guys.